My New Year's resolution is to make sure that the Republican Party dies.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was the actress and Saturday Night Live alumni Jane Curtin saying that her New Year's resolution is to end the Republican Party. Okay, joining me now, Olympic media managing editor Katie Bedford and best-selling author Larry Winget. It was a little strange, I would have to say, because you had Colbert saying he wants a six-pack. There were some fun New Year's resolutions in there, and then that was a little odd, wouldn't you say, Larry?
Yeah, I think it's a little odd. And the irony for me is I'm sure that Jane Curtin sees herself as a very tolerant, inclusive person. But you must agree with her or she will be very intolerant of your ideas. And what she did was absolutely exclude half the country, all because they don't agree with her politics. And that doesn't seem very inclusive to me.
And it doesn't seem like it's in keeping with the New Year's Eve theme. I mean, aren't we all supposed to just want to lose weight in 2019? I mean, I don't get that. What do you think? What do you think, Katie?
Well, I think obviously she is of course known for her deadpan, and that delivery seemed on par with her version of comedy. But I think you're totally right. It's just it's divisiveness. You're ringing in a brand new year, and all you can think about is how you dislike half of this country, and you hope that the party that represents them disappears. I would hope that she would have happier things to want to talk about than that. It just kind of came across as sad.
Yeah, partisanship is alive and well. Okay, so we have a former New York Times executive editor admitting that the paper's news coverage is, quote, unmistakably anti-Trump. In her upcoming book, Jill Abramson, she writes that though the New York Times executive editor said publicly that he didn't want the Times to be the opposition party, his news pages were unmistakably anti-Trump. Now, she goes on to say that some headlines contained raw opinion, as did some of the stories that were labeled as news analysis. Larry, I don't think this shocks anybody. I mean, we kind of know this, no?
No, I don't believe anybody's surprised by any of this. When you become recognized as being only against something or someone, then it's pretty fair that you be labeled as biased. And she's an insider. She kind of knows. She's the former editor. So I'd say she's probably got a pretty good grip on this, and so to say it out loud, I applaud her for it.
Yeah, Katie, I mean, doesn't this also, I would say, hurt the credibility of the New York Times? I mean, can you believe another op-ed piece of some people, saying that they're the part of the opposition inside the White House?
Well, absolutely. And it's funny because you have places like the New York Times that will jump on any little morsel of gossip that comes out of the Trump administration. But when you have, as you would say, a well-versed source of the New York Times spreading perhaps some dirty laundry on them, they're like, oh, no. It's fine. We're definitely totally unbiased and straight and narrow. But of course, I mean, they put out editorial pieces about Trump imperiling the planet. They do book review parts that feature assassination fantasies of the president. Of course, they're biased. I mean, I don't really think anyone can credibly argue that there isn't a very obvious slant going on at the New York Times.
Yeah, and then it adds credibility to the term fake news as well, Larry. I just don't see any positives here.
You know what I think they all need to remember is that we need each other. The Republicans need the Democrats to push back against us. The Democrats need the Republicans. We need an opposing party. We need resistance. It's resistance that keeps an airplane in the air. That's what brings about balance. So we need to recognize and be more respectful of that resistance.
Yeah, we're all in this together. Katie and Larry, thank you so much. We're out of time, but good to have you on tonight. Now we have more Trish Regan Prime Time right after this.